What is going on, barbarians? What's happening? We're back with another video, and this one is about the fall of Manchester United. Y'all told me to look into it, and now we are here. But before we get into this, make sure you like, subscribe, and you hit that notification button, man, so you can get a nice little ding or something like that when I come out with the next video. As you see me trying to capture over 100 years of history, I'm trying to catch it. I'm trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So y'all told me to look into the fall of Manchester United because it was like that was a sight to be seen, and y'all was telling me, "Oh, America's ruined everything." So we gotta look at it. Let's get right to it.
2003, the Glazer takeover. In 2003, American businessman and owner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Malcolm Glazer, began his takeover of Manchester United.
Well, that's it right there. Before we get in, we ain't even. The video started straight off just like that, man. 2003, man. Glazer takeover. America came through, messed it all up. Just came through, messed it all up. And yeah, he wasn't even a good team owner in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They only won 2 Super Bowls, I think. One with whoever the hell was on their team, and then the other one with Tom Brady. And they basically almost, I don't want to say make a super team, but they had a pretty stacked team to win that in Tampa Bay. And plus with Tom Brady, that was like, whatever. But other than that, he's been a terrible owner. So I kind of figured that was not going to translate well whatsoever to bring those American tactics with a game that, where fans, they can get a ticket for little to no money to play a game, and then you bring American capitalism and all your statistics and charts and all that, and how can you make hand over fist and stretch profits and all of that dumb shit. You bring that over and you ruin organizations overseas, and you ruin the fanfare, you ruin the love. And that's the American way. It's trash.
He used a leveraged buyout, meaning he borrowed money to buy the club, and then put that debt onto United's books. Before this, the club was debt-free. By 2005, the Glazer family had full control over the club. Since that point, there has been no attempt to treat Manchester United like a football club under their ownership, with the Glazers taking millions home annually, even in years when the club underperforms. The club did not even have a director of football until 2021, and
That's insane. They really, like, what?
poor decision-making and neglect of infrastructure saw the club slowly being ripped open. Luckily, one man was there to hold it all together in the beginning. That man was Sir Alex Ferguson. With 13 Premier League titles and 2 Champions Leagues, Ferguson was a manager and director of football rolled into one. The greatest manager England had ever seen, it wasn't hard to predict what would happen when he left. 2013, from Ferguson.
So that's who basically held it together, was somebody who actually had a football pedigree. Duh! That's what's going to hold it together, someone that actually had a football pedigree. So who did he go to after that? Did they make him a manager somewhere else? Somebody let me know in the comments. But that clearly, yeah, makes sense. As soon as he left, it was over.
To Moyes. After winning the Premier League in 2012-13, Sir Alex Ferguson called it a day. With no succession plan in place by the owners, Ferguson handpicked Everton's David Moyes. He signed a 6-year contract, but his tenure lasted just 10 months. Moyes faced immediate challenges. He inherited an aging squad, overhauled Ferguson's trusted coaching staff, and struggled in the transfer market. On the pitch, United's football was slow and uninspired as they finished 7th, missing out on European competition.
That's how I felt watching the American national team play. It was nothing but old people, and then they finally had some young people, but they didn't know no better, and that's the reason why we kind of basically lost, because we had mildly skilled young people, and then we had old people who didn't know that their time was up. And that can ruin it. That can ruin the organization too, when people don't know that their time is up. Like, dude, you're old and you're running slow.
For the first time in nearly 2 decades. Despite moments of promise, including a Champions League quarter-final run, results and performances steadily declined, and he slowly lost both the dressing room and the fans.
You are nothing, you are a fool, and you are a waste of time. Good night.
He was not playing. He was not playing. Good night, Manchester United.
2014, LVG. Following the chaos of David Moyes' tenure, Louis van Gaal was seen as a stabilising figure. His reign began with a significant squad overhaul, signing players like Angel Di Maria, Ander Herrera, and later Anthony Martial, while promoting the likes of Marcus Rashford and Jesse Lingard. Tactically, Van Gaal emphasised possession-based football, but his system was often criticised for being overly rigid, slow, and lacking attacking flair.
So, when you have a team, that's what you guys want. You want a fast team, because what I'm seeing, the constant thing is they keep saying that the teams are slow. And from watching the game, it seems like to me, it would seem like it's a slow game because I'm used to watching American football where each play means something. You have to go forward. You have to go forward, you have to go forward. But, you see certain plays where, it's being more strategic, or they'll kick the ball backwards to see if they can try to get some type of opening. It's almost like a chess match. So what do they mean as far as like the speed of the game, the flow of the game, that these coaches and directors that keep bringing in basically a slow game? What does that mean? That they just keep passing it around? Like, I don't get that. So somebody let me know in the comments.
His first season, he secured a 4th place finish and Champions League qualification. The following year, however, the club was eliminated in the group stage of the Champions League and finished 5th in the league. His tenure ended on a bittersweet note. Just 2 days after winning the FA Cup in 2016, he was sacked. 2016,
But they're winning. This is the second time that I also saw that they won something, but they had to fire somebody.
the special one. Appointed for his winning pedigree,
I've seen him before. I've seen him a lot, actually, but I don't know who he is.
Jose Mourinho's first season saw success, with United winning the League Cup, Europa League and Community Shield. Mourinho made high-profile signings, including Paul Pogba, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Romelu Lukaku. In 2017-18, United finished second in the Premier League with 81 points, a feat that Mourinho claimed was his greatest ever achievement. His
I think this is probably from the meme I've seen him in.
pragmatic defensive playing style drew criticism
That's the meme. Okay, that's why I've seen him before, because he's a meme. Okay, so he's somebody that matters.
for lacking flair, a departure from United's traditional attacking ethos. Mourinho clashed publicly with players, notably Pogba, criticised the club's transfer policy and appeared increasingly isolated, and was sacked in December 2018. 2018, Ole's at the wheel. Initially arriving as a caretaker after Jose Mourinho's dismissal, club legend Ole Gunnar Solskjaer quickly lifted the mood, winning his first 8 games.
A lot they got the same person twice. So what are transfer policies? So each team has their own transfer policies where they say, hey, we're known for doing this and not doing that. Or like all teams have like their own specific policies for transfers. Like, how does that work out?
And overseeing a remarkable Champions League comeback against PSG. He promoted players like Mason Greenwood and revitalised the careers of Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw. The team finished 3rd in the Premier League in 2019-20 and 2nd in 2020-21. United also reached multiple semi-finals
doing good.
in the Europa League final in 2021, but lost to Villarreal on penalties. Despite some high points, Solskjaer struggled tactically against top sides, lacked consistency, and often relied on individual brilliance. Big signings like Bruno Fernandes made an impact, but others, such as Donny van de Beek and Jadon Sancho, underperformed. The 2021-22 season began with high expectations following the arrivals of Cristiano Ronaldo and Rafael Varane, but results collapsed and Solskjaer was sacked in November 2021.
So they have a terrible win-in type of thing going on. They're just like, yo, if we don't win it all, everybody's getting fired. But it seems like they keep finishing in high in the standings, but I guess they're not actually winning what matters. So they just keep firing at everybody after a year, which is insane.
2021, open heart surgery. Solskjaer was replaced by German manager Ralf Rangnick on an interim basis. The most notable part of his tenure was his open criticism of the club, stating that open heart surgery was required to fix its issues. Let's quickly rattle through a couple of them. Commercially focused ownership, neglect of footballing structure, diabolical transfer strategy, lack of identity due to constant sackings, decline in infrastructure, decline in standard and culture.
So we got to run through this. So they had commercially focused ownership, which is typical what happens when you're dealing with American and capitalism and all that. So they're just trying to, profit margins. That's all they're thinking about, shareholders. Because if he had a leverage buyout, basically him using other people's money, that means you basically have shareholders. So you have to please the people that invested in it. So that's why it was commercially focused. We got that out the way. The neglect of football instruction, no director of football. Of course they're not going to know that. It's by American ownership. They don't understand that. They said they had diabolical transfer strategy. They spent $1.6 million post Fergie. I don't know who that is. But 9 times out of 10, because of America, we got to keep saying American capitalism and how they spend money. They thought they could buy their way out the situation. And that's usually what they try to do. Instead of getting homegrown talent and looking for actual skill players, they figure, hey, let's buy who's already good out there to try to make us better now. And lack of identity, that comes with it, trying to buy anybody, because like, who are you? What are you doing? What is your brand name? So they They failed to develop a brand whatsoever. Failed to develop a brand of play, a brand of, you would say, new history going forward. They said decline the infrastructure, unchanged training facilities ever since Ronaldo left and everything. Typical. They're not going to change it unless they have to. They do that here with football teams. Unless they absolutely have to, and the league tells them, hey, you guys need to update your stadium to, with the new policies and all that stuff. They weren't going to do it and decline the standard culture, dressing room links, mercenary culture. Yeah, figure that. All of that comes with that.
2022, Ten Hag ball. The next man up was Erik Ten Hag. His first season brought silverware as United won the Carabao Cup, while also leading the team to the FA Cup final. In his second season, United regressed. Questions arose about Ten Hag's tactics, player management, and recruitment, particularly after high-profile signings like Antony underperformed. He was sacked in his third season as the team only secured 3 wins from the opening 9 matches, placing them 14th. 2024.
God damn, they was doing trash, boy.
Ruben and INEOS. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's INEOS Group completed its minority investment in Manchester United in February of 2024, while Ten Hag was in charge, acquiring a 27.7% stake in the club. This deal granted INEOS control over Manchester United's football operation.
That's what happened when you have fractionalized ownership. I think LeBron is part of the ownership now, too. I think LeBron and like Yo Gotti, some rappers even a part of that. But when you have fractionalized ownership, this is the type of stuff that happens.
While the Glazer family retained majority ownership and commercial oversight. With football in control, INEOS brought in Portuguese manager Ruben Amorim, and so far he has led Manchester United to a Europa League final, which they lost to Spurs, and their worst finish in Premier League history.
Damn.
Is this rock bottom, or could the club fall even further?
Damn. So they're actually in the middle of a fall is what we're seeing right here. Who do you think had the worst fall from grace? Let me know. We have more teams. Let me know what other teams you think that fell from grace. And they've probably been, Premier League or Champions League champions, and now they're probably relegated to another league. Let me know in the comments, man. Y'all be easy. I'll catch y'all on the next one.